okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you understand G.O.D. Maybe this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke, I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view. I had to put in my time on the TV, it coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get up and do what it do. So complicated, homie, it's you. Always gonna wait until you in the mood. I've been running, came out gunning, stopped the frame on your word. It's what you hear, not what you heard. I'ma hate on every verb. I'ma show you what it's worth. Every day I'm on the earth till they put me in the dirt. I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it first. Until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. You cannot stop me, I mean this spinach and broccoli. Termination like I'm Rocky, lift the heavy, no spot please. Body back a beating in, I get away scotch free. And I'ma take control, unbreakable. I sense the face, the shakes is cold, the grace is more. Plus it's really the motivation, so it's thank you so. Sweat that's on my neck, hard work on my brain. The easy road taking the left, it's on my chest. No time for regrets, faith in the Jimmy like Steph. Shooting is wet like clay, the party ain't maybe this way. I'm taking all of this left to the bank. I'ma deposit and see what it make. Shoot it, so it's reap. I paid a meter, I came in with Peter like Peter on water. I'm stepping in deeper, they know that I'm coming like follow the leader. I'm taking a chance today. Standing inside of the kitchen, I turn on the heater. I'm here to turn on my brothers and sisters and cousins and mothers until my believers get into it first. Said I'ma get into it first. Until they put me in the dirt. Said I'ma get into it first. Said I'ma get into it. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze. I can't break, that's the thing about me. I won't put these goals on freeze.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles Sunday Sauce live stream that I don't think we've ever done before, but I guess not welcome back. I guess just welcome to the Frankie Candles live stream this Sunday right here at 12 in the afternoon on a Sunday, guys. We just decided we wanted to try to do a little bit of a live Sunday Sauce. As you guys know, we do put out those Sunday Sauce videos just about every Sunday, and this week we were like, what should we do? I wanted to do a tutorial, and then I decided to shout out to Mrs. Candles for bringing me a Frankie Candles hat, but I don't know. Shout out to everybody in the chat saying, hey, nice, Frankie, looking clean. Hey, do I usually look dirty? No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to throw on, you got to rep the Frankie Candles hat, you know what I'm saying, but I'm headed out, I'm hitting the town with Mrs. Candles after this, so I got a little spiffed up to hang out with the lady. But guys, before we go do that, I wanted to hop on here and do a little bit of a live Sunday Sauce and do just kind of a little market update. Now, this is not going to be, at least I hope it's not going to be a regular 2-hour live stream. We are just going to make this probably like a 30-minute live market update for you guys. I just want to check in on Bitcoin as we have hit some pretty key levels, and we are starting to put in some of those macro bearish signals that we were talking about on our live stream last week. And I just want to update you guys and talk to you about, is this daily bearish divergence that we've been talking about on last week's live stream, is this bearish signal likely to play out and give us a big move to the downside, or are we still being really cautious with the shorts, expecting some kind of a scam pump to the upside? And if that does happen, what levels are we looking at? We're going to be taking a look at all that on today's live stream. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Mrs. Candles did not shut the door, and it's going to drive me nuts throughout the whole stream, so give me 1 sec. And we're back. But with all that being said, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. And what we're going to do here, guys, if we get 550 likes on today's live stream, I don't know what the views are going to be like. We've never gone live at this time. But if we get 550 likes, guys, we will spin that wheel 20 times, but we are going to spin it on Monday. We're not going to spin it on today's video, but we will add those spins to tomorrow's live stream. But smash that like button, and before we jump into it, guys, let's see who we got in the weekend CandleMafia here. Let's go ahead and see. Shout out to Dave Digital. As always, good to see you in here, bro. No surprise there. Shout out to Dave Digital. We got Shirley Sound. What is going on? We got Cryptic Sniper, Crypto Jam, Crimson Caravan Company. What is going on? Crypto Chef. We got Big Red in the chat, not to be confused with Big Blue. Shout out to you, man. We got Samuel in the chat. We got High Def. We got Rick, Landon. What is going on, Landon? Good to see you in here. We got Chemo in the chat. We got Prime Time. Darren Does Things. As always, good to see you, brother. And last but not least, guys, show some love to our mods. We got Tyler Dirt and Crypto Anon, Tony D chilling in the chat. And I apologize if I missed any of the mods. That's just who I see on screen. But you guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat right now. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and figure out if this thing's going to pump or dump, and hopefully not just go sideways. So here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts here. And as you guys can see, what I want to do today is I kind of want to just jump on the higher time frames, and I want to do kind of like it's Sunday, right, guys? We're about to have Sunday dinner. Well, not about, but if you guys are Italian, you know Sunday dinner for the Italians starts at about noon, right? You're cooking all day, you're eating all day. But before we go ahead and kick that off, guys, I just want to, we're going into a new week of trading. I kind of want to break down the macro. What did we see happen last week, and what can we expect going into the next week? So, obviously, guys, I'm going to start here on the weekly time frame. Now, I'm not really going to break this down too intricately, as you guys are very, very aware of the kind of macro volume profile that we are sitting in right now, which is, again, sitting between about 28.5 right now and about $48,000 to $50,000. And I do extend this level up to about 50K. Reason being is because we do have our macro volume profile. That macro golden pocket is sitting right up here at about 50K. So between 48 and 50K, in my opinion, is kind of the macro target if things are able to maintain this absolutely fiery bullish, momentum. I do think that high target is going to be somewhere near this value area high between about 48 and 50K. And I know if you watch the live stream and you are familiar with the volume profiles, people's mouths are watering for that value area high to get hit, but I do just want to reiterate here, guys, although we see these value area highs go from the low, hit that POC, flip it to support, and get us up to those value area highs very, very often. You guys have seen this happen recently, especially on the altcoins. We've seen these things go absolutely crazy, and we've been able to predict these next moves using previous volume profiles, just like we did here on Bitcoin. And this is the reason I'm pointing this out is because I want you guys to understand, although we've seen this with like almost all of the altcoins, even if we hop on over to Ethereum, you guys know we basically predicted exactly like all of Ethereum's moves to a T, and it all has to do with the volume profiles. And kind of the thing here, guys, is I just want to point out, right, we left this volume profile, went to the low, flipped it to support, went to the POC and the value area high. And the reason I really want to talk about this real quick, guys, is because I know a lot of people are probably watching this saying like, oh my God, like the last 200 times this guy's brought up the volume profile, talked about flipping the low to support, getting up to the POC, and then hitting that value area high. Literally the last 200 times he talked about it, it happened, right? But I just want to I want to preface everything with like, there is no guarantees, although it's an extremely reliable technique to be looking at targets like this, there's no guarantees that we make it up to these prices. But again, you want to remember, based off the way the volume profiles behave, it is definitely a target that can be in the cards, and in my opinion would be somewhat likely as long as we can continue this bullish market structure and not get any crazy FUD or crazy, scary bearish news to come out. I think we are likely headed up to this level, but obviously there are going to be a lot of levels in between that are going to give us some turbulence on the way. So just in general, guys, still bullish, still looking for these higher targets to get hit up towards 48 to 50K. And not only that, we also have our next targets, which are a little bit more local, and we are starting to hit these levels right now. And you guys know, over the past couple of weeks, we've been watching this purple box, which is coming in between. Let me go ahead and select this so I can get the actual numbers. This purple box is sitting in between about 39,112 and about 37,623. And this is a very, very important level of resistance, guys, because not only is this a previous value area low, and for anybody who might be new to the stream or just not keeping up or hasn't watched in a little bit, this value area low is being pulled from this volume profile all the way back here in February of 2022. This is where these levels came from. I don't just like coming on here and giving you guys these mystical levels that only I know how to find. I like to show you guys how to find them as well, so you have context into like what the resistance we're actually hitting is. That way you guys can apply this stuff to your charts when I'm not here, and you could find these key levels maybe on a coin that I don't look at, and you're trading it, or if I'm just not there to give you the levels, you could find them on your own. So they are being pulled from this this previous value area that we had trading back here in March, right? That's not only do we have the previous value area low from that range, but we also have that previous point of control from this range, which we are potentially going to be targeting if we are going to get another push to the upside. Now, if we do get up to this level, guys, not only is this the previous point of control of this range that we just looked at, but it is also a macro or monthly naked point of control. Macro just meaning from a higher time frame. A monthly naked point of control, which is likely to give us some serious resistance if we are going to get up there. But if you guys have watched my Sunday Sauce video, I think last week, talking about how to find these naked points of control, we talk about not only are these likely to be strong levels of resistance, but also very likely to act as magnets for price, as these POCs or naked points of control typically do attract price to them. And we can talk about why that is actually the case. Actually, we talk about it in that video, so go check that out if you guys have not seen it. But if we are going to continue pushing up here, that is going to be kind of the next local strong level of resistance that I am looking at, that monthly naked point of control, which at this time and forever will be sitting at about $38,998. We are hitting up against some pretty strong resistance, right? Not only have we tapped that value area low, but we know we have this monthly naked point of control just above us. And on top of that, guys, we also have that $40,000 psychological level of resistance just above. So if we do continue pushing up, we have a lot of resistance up here that is likely to either A, give us a strong pull to the downside, where I will be talking about some new macro targets to the downside if we do get a pullback. There are some pretty interesting levels closer to about 34,200 and a little bit below that I am watching. So I want to talk to you guys about those today. But whether we pull back from here or if we push up higher, guys, we do have a lot of resistance up here that is likely to either give us some kind of consolidation or even a bigger correction to the downside. Because as you can see here, guys, not much has really been in our way on this road to not only the POC, but these higher naked points of control up here. We've basically just been screaming to the upside with very, very small pullbacks. And we could be like, or not could be, we are very, very likely to get a significant retracement to the downside upside at some point. The trick here is figuring out if we're going to get another pop to the upside first or if we're going to come down from here, which if you guys watch the show, you will know there were some very, very specific things we were looking for. Not only were we looking for this surprise pump to the upside before potentially putting in some macro bearish signals. And if you guys have been watching the stream, you will know what those signals are, and it is right here on the daily time frame, and it is that macro daily bearish divergence. So you saw the thumbnail, guys. We got to be a little sensational with the titles, right, or nobody clicks. But I do like to really make sure I cover what's on those thumbnails, whether it's, oh my God, super scary bearish signal, whether it is actually going to nuke us to zero or not. I do want to make sure that there is some kind of a macro bearish signal that we actually look at, because it's not just clickbait. It may be sensationalized, but it's not clickbait, because we do have this very macro bearish signal, which is that daily bearish divergence on our daily time frame, because that's where the daily bear divs are. But you can see this with our price creeping to the upside. Most importantly, not only are we making higher highs on price, but we are making those higher highs into a key level of resistance with our momentum waves making a lower high. And you guys can now see we are finally printing that red dot on our momentum wave, and more specifically that lower high momentum wave, giving us that bearish divergence on the daily. Now, this is that macro bearish signal where we were looking, saying, hey, if we don't pull back from this little area of consolidation that we have here, we're looking for a surprise push into this level to potentially create this bearish divergence. And guys, this is how I trade, right? And this is why we always talk about trading being an if this, then that statement. And what we like to do is say, hey, if we get the pump up and we hit these levels and we get these specific bearish confirmations, this is where we look for the move to the downside. And we got that push up, we hit that macro level of resistance, and we are indeed, just as we expected, getting that bearish divergence on the daily. But the question is this really going to be that all I don't know what I'm trying to say here. That I was going to say that all encompassing. Is this really going to be like that almighty bearish signal that we're looking for that big dump? Or is the market bullish enough to just push right through this? And you guys aren't going to like the answer, because it's kind of neutral, right? Because not only do we have the bearish divergence on the daily, but if you come on over to the 2-day, you can see here our VWAP is actually trying to cross over into our 0 line here and potentially giving us a green dot on the 2-day. Which coincidentally, guys, could put us in a very similar situation that we were in on the daily here, where we were consolidating, looking for a surprise push to the upside to put in the macro bearish signal, which is that daily bear div, for a better short entry. Now, I will be very clear with you guys. I am still not in a short. As you guys know, I got stopped out of a small short position from down here, and then our longs wound up paying us out. Just for anybody who's not up to date on that, I do want to kind of say this because I think a lot of people can learn from this. I got stopped out of a short down here because we didn't know if we were going to get the correction from here or if we were going to get this surprise move to the upside. But because we were prepared, if price dumped or pumped, I was able to take advantage no matter what happened, right? So I got stomped out of my short from right about here for about $100, right? And then we are up multiple thousands of dollars on the longs after this push to the upside. So that is how you want to be managing your trades, guys. I want you guys to think about this. I lost $100 getting stomped out, but I wound up making thousands on the long position. When you have your losses as small as $100 and your wins are in the thousands, you can lose and get stopped out of multiple trades in a row and still wind up being profitable in the end. So in that same with that same theory or technique, guys, we are being very careful of a potential squeeze to the upside up to that next key level. I want you guys, if you guys are writing anything down right now, this monthly naked point of control at 39,998 is the next key level of resistance. And if we are going to get this daily bear div to be very lackluster and not give us a big move to the downside, which is definitely possible, I am going to be looking for a surprise squeeze back up to higher prices, potentially breaking our previous high here at about 38K and pushing us closer into that 38,998 level, or basically into that $39,000 level, with a potential wick all the way up to that $40,000 psychological level. If things get really crazy, we could easily push up to that 40K level, which again, these are the levels where I am now, as we approach these levels, I am now assessing the situation to see if I'm getting confirmations, clear confirmations, not kind of the foggy confirmations we're getting right now, but clear confirmations to get into a saucy swing short to ride this down and catch the top of this potential bigger retracement that we could have incoming soon. So That's kind of what I'm looking at, guys, because and here's the thing. I am looking for short entries up here because, again, I don't know if this daily bear div is going to pull us down, and there's no one out there can know for 100% if we're going to get that drop from this daily bear div. So I am going to be looking for short entries up here, but as of right now, like I said, I'm being very, very conservative with the shorts, and I am still not entered in my short position, but I am waiting for confirmations. But again, I'm being very careful of shooting up to that 39K level. But now you guys have that key level. If we do get that move up, you know what we will be looking for. So it's kind of that tricky case where you're trying to maybe catch a small position here or some kind of a position here in case you get the pullback. But again, this 2-day VWAP curving up towards that zero line, this kind of puts us in that same position we're in on the daily, right? Because if we get that green dot on the 2-day and this daily green dot or this daily red dot winds up getting a green dot immediately after it, causing what we like to call a VWAP flip, where your VWAP crosses below the zero line, prints a red dot, and then immediately crosses back up, giving you a green dot. It's basically a fake out on the momentum waves. But if we are going to get a fake out here on this daily bear div and print this 2-day green dot, that may be what's able to give us that push up into these higher levels. And at that point, we actually might be setting up on the 2-day for something very, very similar to what we have on the daily. But in my opinion, a 2-day bear div would technically be stronger than a daily bear div. So here's the thing. I am positioning myself to potentially find a short position soon to cover myself if we pull back from here. But I will be managing the risk very, very heavily on that position, guys. Tight stop losses, because if we get the surprise pump back to the upside, if we get some kind of a short squeeze into that 39, 40K level, I will get stopped out again, very similarly to what happened the other day on the live stream, stopped out for a very, very, very small loss. My longs will continue to pay me out up to these higher levels, and then if we get a clearer confirmation to go short up here, that's where I would be loading up on the bigger short position. So these are kind of the key levels I'm looking at to the upside, guys. Now, another kind of like little key here is we do have, we do have a lot of single prints in this area, guys. We filled a bunch of single prints as we wicked up here to about 38K, and then we also have some old single prints that were never filled when we got this big dump to the downside, and a lot of those single prints are sitting within this purple box, which means if we wind up pulling up and starting to fill those single prints, that push, if we do get that last push to the upside, it could wind up happening very, very quickly right into our next key levels of resistance. So it might make sense if we do get that push up to fill those single prints really quickly and then finally get the bigger reaction to the downside. Now, the real question here is, guys, whether, like I said, we want to be prepared with an if this then that statement. Like, I'm not sitting here panicking, panicking about, oh God, like, are we definitely getting the move down from here? Like, what if we get one last push up? Oh my God, should I just go short here? And then if, instead of panicking, you just want to have a plan no matter what price does, guys. This is how, trading is already stressful enough. So take some stress off your shoulders by not caring if it goes up or down and just being prepared in either direction, having your key levels set or your traps set on your chart. And then you don't have to worry about finding a trade until price hits your level. I think everybody has this misconception that you need to be in a trade I'm a day trader. I have to get into multiple trades every single day. If you are doing that, if you are hitting the charts every single day, sitting down and going, okay, let me hunt for a trade, likely you are going to wind up losing money. I like to tell people trading is not a hunting game. It is a trapping game. And you want to set those key levels, and then you could literally put alerts on your key levels so you don't have to stare at the charts. Sit down at your chart, do your analysis, find your key levels, and then set your alerts. Find out the confirmations you want to be looking at each level. Set your alert, and then when price reaches that level, you'll get a notification on your phone. You can literally go out and live a life and then get a notification on your phone and be like, okay, hang on, Bitcoin's hitting one of my key levels. You already know the confirmations you're looking for, and then at that point, you could open up your chart and check if you're getting the confirmations at that key level. But at least you're not looking around a dark room trying to find a trade that might not be there. You know that price has entered into an area where you know there is a high likelihood of a reaction. So you're already getting into a higher probability trade by having a plan beforehand, right? So that's what I'm looking at. And again, we are getting this daily bear div. So whether we get a pullback from here or we get that second shot up, I will simply be prepared to make money no matter what. But if we do get that pullback, whether it happens from here or up here at these higher levels, what are those key levels to the downside that we can be looking at for a potential bounce back to the upside? I want to talk about those key levels. And then, guys, I want to jump over to Ethereum. talk about some key levels on Ethereum and some of the things we were waiting for and looking for to happen on the previous live streams. And then maybe we'll check out one or two altcoins, and I'm going to hop out of here. But let's talk about those key levels to the downside right now. So if we get that pullback, guys, the first key level or the major key levels that I will be looking at right now is because, again, you don't want to forget the context of your macro plan, right? Our macro plan is, hey, Bitcoin is bullish. We've broken into our bigger value area. And if we break here, we're looking to go to the POC, which obviously happened. And then if we flip that POC to support, which has already happened, we are going to be looking up towards these targets, some other higher targets, and eventually that value area high. So you don't want to lose sight of your macro plan. But if we get that pullback, guys, because of our macro plan and the fact that the market structure remains bullish on the higher time frames and the fact that our weekly money flow crossover has already come into the green and all these other higher daily time frames have money flow in the green, it would indicate that potentially the longer term trend could continue to the upside, right? So we're not looking to short this thing to zero. We're simply looking for a short down to maybe some key levels to put in a higher low and then potentially continue our uptrend back to that value area high, going back to our original macro plan. So if we pull back, guys, the next key level I will be looking at just logically is going to be what? If you're just looking at the range, right? If we get rid of the next targets, shout out to chat. Let me know in the chat if you guys shout out to Tyler Durden, says Jonah Plainclothes says WTF is a single print. Well, hey, guys, Sunday Sauce is supposed to be somewhat educational. So instead of just teaching you guys about the price action and what I think is likely to happen, I'll teach you guys about single prints today as well. So maybe we'll take a look at ETH, and then we'll talk about those single prints. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's shout out to Magnetic Storm. Shout out to you, bro. He says, excellent. I get to post for once. He says, I like this time slot. I'm awake. Keep up the great TA. Shout out to Magnetic Storm, bro. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for being here. And shout out to Jonah Plainclothes. You just selected the topic of today's sauce, educational sauce. But we'll break down the price action, then we'll talk about the single prints. Here we go. Yeah, Solana, guys. Shout out to Solana. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Sometimes we put levels on the chart. Sometimes Solana goes there. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but we'll take a look at Solana maybe in a little bit here. But if we pull back, guys, simply put, if you're looking at the volume profile, shout out to the chat. Let me know if you know the answer to this question. If we wind up coming down, guys, what is the first level based off the volume profile we're going to be looking at for support? Shout out to Creighton C. Absolutely, we are going to be looking down towards that point of control of our range because if we pull back, guys, we know that as long as we hold above this POC, we could continue our journey up to the higher targets in the range, right? Again, eventually, not tomorrow or the next day, but eventually winding up at that value area high. Now, with that being said, it's not just the range point of control here that would be a key level of support. However, if we go ahead and put on our local support and come down to something like the 4-hour, and we turn on our local support here, guys, we have some interesting levels hovering all around this area, which is that macro point of control. And number one, we have a golden pocket 786 retracement coming in. The 786 is literally like, look how close is this? 786 right here, POC right here. So almost perfect confluence with your 786 retracement level and your macro point of control. And then your golden pocket is coming in between about $35,158 and about $35,000 even. Now, I would be watching all the way up to $35,400 because we actually do have a very, very important level here, guys. And it is another point of control here, a naked point of control. But you can see there's kind of like a weird symbol here. It's because there is two letters. You have a volume point of control and also a time point of control, right? Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the TPOCs, but these are, when you have a volume point of control and a time point of control right in perfect confluence like we do right here, again at 35.4, 35.5, this could be not only an area where price likes to get gravitated to, because remember, those points of controls act as a magnet, not only strong resistance and support, but also acts as a magnet attracting price to it, right? So, and again, I find these levels personally here on Exo charts, and we could take a closer look. You could see down here at about 35,398, you could see we not only have that volume point of control, the pink line, we also have the blue line here, which is that time point of control, and it is naked coming from this volume profile back here on November 8th. So we have this extended and naked. So again, this could act as a magnet as well as a strong level to be looking for a bounce, especially when not only do we have the TPOC, VPOC, but also coming all the way down to the macro point of control of our macro range. I never want anybody getting confused about this because there's a lot of different POCs. There's a time point of control, a macro point of control, a regular naked point of control. But that macro point of control is simply the midpoint, essentially, of our macro range. And this blue box, guys, like, again, TPOC, VPOC, and then the regular POC of the range is coming in at 34.3. And if you come back over to Exo charts, you could see 35, 398, and then down here we have another naked time point of control from the previous volume profile down here at 34,930. And if we come down to 34,930, let's go ahead and see 34,930. It is right on this golden pocket of the Fibonacci retracement of this impulse from the low here before our secondary push to the upside. So a lot of confluence in this zone, essentially between 35.4 and about 34.4. This is a very, very key level of resistance, whether we pull back from where we are now or if we wind up going up for those higher targets we talked about just 2 minutes ago and then get the pullback. These are all going to remain very key levels of support to look for. So whether we pull back from here or the higher prices, guys, these are the key levels you need to be looking at. I don't want to say you need to be looking at. You can look at whatever you want. But these are the levels that I'm looking at if we get the pullback to the downside. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Frankie, yeah, sure, if you come down here, you have the POC, the golden pocket, even the 786. If we get that full 786 retracement, guys, we could bounce right off that POC. But you might be saying to yourself, well, Frankie Candles, well, what happens if you wind up coming down here and you break this key level of resistance? Are you expecting to go to zero? And the answer to that question is absolutely not. I am not expecting to go to zero. Honestly, guys, I wouldn't be looking for more macro lower prices for Bitcoin until we break this key level, which we look at on the live stream all the time. And I literally have these labeled must hold these levels, because if we start breaking this box between 30,001 and 28,650, that, and we can't get back above that value area low, right? We come back down here and we can't get back above this level. That's where we're looking closer down to 25K. But until we break these levels, I am bullish in the long term, looking for higher prices to continue to be made on Bitcoin. And if we do break this level, again, just to answer that question, if we do wind up getting below this macro point of control, I won't be expecting zero, but I will simply be looking at shout out to the single prints. And I did not mean to pull back to this exact level, but this is beautiful because I don't have to redraw it. But you can see here, if we do lose that macro point of control, I will still remain bullish. However, I will be looking down to potentially come fill these single prints, which are coming in closer to about between 32.5 and about $32,000 even, where not only are those the single prints, which could get filled very quickly, and not only do they likely get filled quickly, but this also acts as an area on the charts that price likes to go back and retest as support before continuing on to higher or lower prices. And real quick, shout out to Mark Dutch for gifting those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Mark Dutch. I appreciate you for gifting the Mafia those memberships, bro. You're the man. But let's go ahead. I did see some super chats come in. I will 100%. Go back and read those. Just let me get through the BTCTA. We'll go read the super chats, and then we'll talk about the single prints and check out Ethereum. So this is going to be that next level if we break that macro point of control, coming in down here between $32,500 and about $32,000 even, where not only could it be likely to gravitate towards these single prints, but it would also be a beautiful golden pocket 786 retracement, an important Fibonacci retracement down here to the 786, getting closer to 30,900. But this would be kind of the next major level I would be looking to potentially get some support and bounce back to the upside, reflip that POC to support, and then, again, continue our journey to higher prices. So those are the key levels to the downside, guys, and not even just the levels to the downside, kind of how I would handle things if we get down to these levels. Remember, like, if we break this POC, I'm not expecting to just instantly go back to the value area low or go to zero, but I am looking at these more local areas of resistance where we have not only the single prints, but then you have the golden pocket backing you up and that 786. And remember, it's not until we break this bigger blue box down here towards, and it's very simple, guys, and I want to make it seem easier than it is, but it's very simple because you always have to find these local levels of resistance, but or support and resistance. But here's the thing. When things get really confusing or you wind up getting a really big move on the charts like we did here, it could get very easy to think like, oh my God, like start panicking. What's happening? None of my levels are getting respected. What is happening, right? And always remember, just zoom out. You want to separate your macro and your local levels, because if you zoom out and you hide all your macro levels, right? All your local levels, hide the local support, hide the local support, hide the local single prints, right? And then you just simply zoom out to your macro plan. You're thinking like, okay, sure, we smashed through the POC and we're dumping, but where's my next real macro level of resistance? It's not coming down here until the value area low. Because I know it seems like we're losing all these crazy levels within here, but when you zoom out, you're simply just losing the midpoint of the range, and you still have the lows of the range that could potentially get held as support. So those are the key levels I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys, and not only that, but kind of what I'm expecting at each level, or if each level is broken or held as support. I like to give you guys kind of if this, then that scenarios. So, I'm not just like, hey, watch this level. And then you rip through the level, it doesn't do anything. And you're like, well, Frankie Kendall said, watch this level, it's really strong, but it didn't get respected, so now what? I like to let you guys know what happens if the levels get smashed through, right? So there you go. That's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Be careful of the pullback, but also be careful of that little scam pump to the upside. But like I said, guys, the beauty of being a trader is simply the fact that you could be prepared for a move up and a move down. And not only that, you could be prepared to make money no matter what happens in the market. So, guys, with all that being said, that's about all I got for you guys on Bitcoin. Make sure you mark out those key levels on your chart. And with that being said, let's go ahead. I want to check out Ethereum really, really quickly with you guys here. And then, shout out to Jonah Plainclothes. We're going to talk about those single prints really quickly, and I'll break them down very simply. And there you go. And shout out to Tyler Durden said, Hannah King says, if you keep ignoring my super chat, I'm going to take it out on Tyler. Oh, God, Hannah King said the super chat. Okay. Let's check the super chats really, really quickly, and then I'll jump into the ETH. I'll jump into the ETH TA. Oh yeah, and guys, hang on one second. Shout out to Wolfman Ate My Crypto, and for a very specific reason, I want to shout him out. Hang on one second, guys. I gotta ask. Hang on one sec. Let me mute my mic really quickly. Hang on one second, guys. I'll probably be hot on another mic, but it's not. Okay, all right, we're good. Shout out to Wolfman Ate My Crypto. Thank you, Tony D, for reminding me about that. But guys, let's read these super chats really, really quickly. Shout out to Hannah King. Said, sent an update message in chat, Frankie. Shout out. So Hannah King got hacked, guys. So shout out to Hannah King. I will read that message as soon as I hop off the live stream, Hannah. I will go check that out, and I will answer you. Thank you for sending me that message. We want to keep updated. I hope that we're able to, I hope someone's able to help you figure out at least what happened to the money. If you can't get it back, hopefully someone can figure out at least where it went, at least a little bit of closure of like what happened. But shout out to Hannah King. I feel so bad that this happened to you, but I will answer that message right after the live stream. And shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. He said, are we going to win Trading Wars or what? Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you, Mrs. Candles. You want to show a little weekend hand or no? This only for the weekdays. Oh, she's doing her nails right now, guys. She can't show you the nails right now. But shout out to Dave Digital. We're going to try to take it home here. I actually don't really know a lot of specifics on the rules of how it works. I think we're going to be like just degen trading the 1 minute. So literally anything can happen. But Dave, we're going to try. I'm actually going to try to work to get you on my team, Dave. We're going to get you on there, I hope. I'm just kidding. I can't do that. But I wish I could. If I could, I would, Dave. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. And shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, shout out to Blanchard's Bees in the chat. Been a minute. Hyped to see you. Shout out to Blanchard's Bees. We always love having Blanchard's in the chat. And guys, I see we do have 708 people in the chat right now. Smash that like button if you're finding any value in this weekend sauce, Sunday sauce live stream. Do you guys like this? Should I go live every Sunday? Should we make live tutorials on Sunday? Should we just go back to regular pre-records? Let me know in the comments down below so Tony D can read through them all and let us know what you guys want to see. Shout out to Tony D. Could you actually help me out and do that if people start commenting? Shout out to Tony D. And real quick, guys, shout out to Bilal. What is going on, man? He says, where do you think ETH is going next? Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right back into the Ethereum TA. So let's see here, guys. As we take a look at Ethereum, as you know, simply it's been a game of volume profiles, right? We simply look to go from this volume profile down here, break out, get a quick move through the low volume gap that we knew was in between these two volume profiles. We look to flip this to support, get up to the POC. wind up flipping that to support, and then break out of this value area high up to these next key levels where we did wind up sticking a little bit between about $2,030 and $2,000 even to get rid of some of these lines. And then we were looking for a potential secondary push to the upside, targeting near $2,146, guys. And you can see Ethereum. It's really funny. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for the super chat. He says live, duh. Guys, honestly, I think I like the lives better. Number one, I get to interact with you guys on a Sunday, which is lit. Weekends with the Mafia is fire. And it's also like we don't have to edit the video. We don't have to put any graphics on the video. It's just so much easier for me to just come in here, spit the sauce with you guys, give you the value, and then I get to leave right after. There's no like aftermath that I have to deal with. So it's pretty cool. But shout out to Dave. Thank you for the super chat, bro. But you guys can see we shot right up to that $2,146 level. And as you guys know, we were looking for potential rejections at this level. We did front run it slightly. But again, this is oftentimes, guys, when I'm in a trade, I always tell this not only on the live stream, but also to the premium Discord. Like anytime we're in a long position, like let's say we were longing Ethereum on this breakout, which I don't typically do. And let's say we were targeting this target up here at 2146. I don't put my TPs on the level, right? You do want to front run those levels very slightly by a few bucks, right? Or a few cents, depending on what you're looking at, obviously. But you do want to front run these levels very slightly, guys, because you never know if your TP is going to get front ran, by a couple bucks, right? So you want to. I always do set my TPs a little bit below or above those levels of support or resistance to help avoid, coming up and just missing your take profit and then, getting your gains eaten away. So I just wanted to, kind of spit that sauce a little bit here. But you can see we were looking for rejections here, and we were looking for support on that same level that we were looking at resistance for originally here between $2,035 and $2,000 even. You can see we got the retracement, and we are right now holding this retracement. And I'll tell you why I actually don't hate this retracement. And the reason is because the reason we were looking for support here was because this is the Golden Pocket 786 retracement of the entire move down, right? Or I'm sorry, the entire move up, right? So you pull from the low to the high, and then you get this Fibonacci retracement, 786 coming in at $2,008, and then the Golden Pocket coming in at $2,035. So simply put, guys, if you are looking for another move to the upside for Ethereum, locally at least, within the context of this time frame, you can see, right? You get the move up, you pull your fib from the low to the high, it gives you this retracement zone right here, and then we look for the higher low to come in on the Golden Pocket, and if you don't hold the Golden Pocket, you're looking for the higher low to come in on the 786, and if you zoom in here, guys, look at the 786 tap on this wick. Literally touch this almost to the dollar. This is why you want to be looking at the Golden Pocket 786 retracements, because again, not only did we come down, test the Golden Pocket and the 786 and hold above it, right? You could look for a long here. Scalp long here would have kind of played out pretty nice, actually. What was the percentage here? 2.9%. Easy, not easy trade, but easily enough of a move to get a little bit of a scalp long in there. I need like a 1% move. I look for a minimum of a 1% move for me, but that would have been plenty of a move. And then even down here on the 786 wick, if you look for another long position and got your confirmations, you could have caught another 2.8% move. Like, scalps are everywhere. But now that we have come down and tested this 786, if you look at the 4-hour VWAP, you can see this VWAP is curving back up towards that zero line with money flow coming back up. So there is a possibility we could kind of continue to push up and maybe actually come up and tap this $2,146 level because, again, we did front run it, right? So if we get this green dot on the 4-hour with our money flow continue to come up, we got the full Golden Pocket 786 retracement, and we could continue back up towards this target. And in my opinion, because of the weekend oftentimes is low volume, guys, I would actually be potentially looking for a range to start up at these prices, right? Maybe we kind of start to consolidate a little bit around in this kind of volume profile, or just between this Golden Pocket and our next target of 2146. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, you got the 786 retracement, but how would I have known to take any of these trades? And I'll just show you this on the 786 because it's very clear. You come down, you're expecting a move to the 786. You probably could have caught a nice scalp, probably a 15-minute bull div, 5-minute bull div potentially on this Golden Pocket. 5 minutes probably there. Let's see. There you go, right here. You come down. I didn't look at this beforehand either, which is pretty funny. But you can see you come down locally. You put in, and I'm not saying that you every time you come to a Golden Pocket, just go to the 5-minute, look for a bull div, and take the trade. That's not the case. You have to do more analysis than that. But I'm just saying, when you come down here, you see you're starting to put lower lower lows on your price action with your higher lows on your momentum waves and money flow coming up, that's letting you know you may be able to catch some kind of a retracement up back to the upside, and you would have been able to catch that nice little scalp, again, to the tune of about, I think, 3%. Yeah, 2.9%. Not a bad scalp trade. And then the same thing back here. You can see you dip down to that 786, putting those lower lows on price action into your key level of support. Again, that's a very key part, a key factor into the key level of support. With your higher lows on your momentum waves, money flow coming back up, and then you could have caught that second scalp. But here's the thing. I want to be clear. You should not be trading like that. I'm just saying that because bull divs and bear divs are very, very simple signals that you're going to get a reversal, at least locally, right? I'm not saying that you should just look at levels, long and short bear divs. You're likely going to wreck yourself like that. But this could be kind of the first thing. You're like, okay, we're putting those lower lows. We're putting the higher lows. This looks like it could reverse. Let me do further analysis and get some extra confirmations. And if I get those, that's where you could fire the trade. But there you go, guys. That's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Potential ranging around here. You do want to remember that you do have that red dot on the daily, just like you do on Bitcoin. No daily bearish divergence here, but you do have the red dot. So I would look for some potential consolidation, maybe a local pump back to the upside, but just some kind of zigzagging, bing-bonging back and forth here. And if we lose this key level down here, the 786 retracement at $2,000, I would be looking, that first level of support I'd be looking at after that would be this value area high, coming in at about $1,930. So there you go. Those are the key levels we're looking at on Ethereum. So I would probably look for something like this. Maybe some consolidation locally, but if we break down, that's going to be the key level that I'm looking at next. So there you guys go. A little bit of ETH sauce, a lot of Bitcoin sauce. But now, guys, I do want to take a look at one more coin, one more alt before we talk about the single prints for Jonah Plainclothes, because we gotta give the sauce to Jonah Plainclothes. He's like an OG of the CandleMafia. We cannot leave him hanging. Speaking of OGs of the Mafia, shout out to the Godfather, the literal OSG of the, I mean, he's the Godfather. He is the Mafia. But shout out to the Godfather. He says, Frankie, what? Live on a Sunday. Cheers, buddy. Shout out to the Godfather. Show some respect to the mob boss in the chat, guys. He's here. But what was that chat? A little birdie told me that someone on Twitter asked for, was it VLK, VRK, VSK? What was it? Tony D, let me know what that coin was. I actually already looked at it. Let me see if I can pull it up. No, I can't. It's not in my future. Is it VLK, VRK? Somebody know it? I've never heard of the coin, but I already looked at it. I have some TA. I have some TA on it already that I do want to go all over, and then we'll take a look at the. And maybe we could, while we're waiting for that, maybe we could take a look at Solana. Here we go, guys. We're doing a 2-hour stream today. I don't care. I'm just kidding. I can't do a 2-hour stream. I got to go out with Mrs. Candles, guys. But real quick, I do want to just check in on Solana real quick, guys, because as you know, last week we were looking at our next target on Solana right up here at about $65, guys, and it literally wicked up to about $63.98, literally $64. Front ran our level by about $1, but we were looking at Solana on last week's live stream, guys, looking for that secondary push up into our next key level at $65 and potentially $75, which I literally said that I felt crazy calling for on my live stream. TVK, that's it. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, bro. You're a boss, bro. But I felt crazy calling for 75, and here we are, just continuing to creep up towards that target, guys. And like I said, Tony D, that video that we made about Solana not actually being dead, it may age very, very well. As you guys know, I put a Sunday Sauce video out recently, in the recent past. It wasn't actually recently. It was a couple months ago, talking about how I don't think Solana's dead. I think they are still building in the bear market. They have a lot of cool things going on, and I do think that maybe it doesn't break all-time highs, but it will come back to life in some form or fashion, especially if the powers that be want this thing to go to the upside. Excuse me. And again, $65 has already almost been tapped. 75 is our next target. And really the next major range that I would be looking for Solana to go settle in if we continue to the upside is between $80 and $107. So can we get up there? I think it's possible, but again, likely not going to happen in a straight line. I would expect some kind of significant retracement to come in here. The day is coming, guys. Like, there is going to be a day where everybody wakes up and goes, okay, well, there we go. There goes that. That was that alt season, right? Like that was that, bullish price action. Just like when we had the meme coins going crazy recently in the middle of the bear market, right? Everybody was buying Pepe. Everything was all going nuts. And, you get all the perma bulls coming in and being like, oh, this meme coin is going to be the next Doge. And it's like, once that started happening, I literally started warning the Mafia saying, guys, like, See, this is all warning signs of the top of a meme cycle, right? Or an alt season, right? Like, even though it's a bear market alt season and they're short-lived, like, everyone thought it was going to continue forever. And as soon as I saw, like, all the meme communities coming into my chat saying, this is the next Doge, this is the next Doge, I knew it was near the top. We had one meme coin that was like, they were literally saying it was going to be the next Sheeb, and I looked at it, and I made a bet with the guy. I was like, if it's the next Sheeb, then I will admit that I was the wrongest I've ever been. And they were like, I don't know. And then we went back and it like went to zero, right? Like, obviously, because we've seen this happen time and time again. When all those people go super permable, usually the pump is over. And I'm not saying it's going to happen right now, but that will happen for this pump, guys. Like, one day we're going to wake up and be like, okay, well, it wasn't going to go up forever, right? And we're going to start seeing things pull back. And when that does, I do think that's on the way at some point. But regardless of that, guys, I do think we could be getting up into these levels because we do have some pretty big volume gaps here on Solana, guys. Like, there's not much volume until really up here at $85. So we could be on our way through this volume gap to go revisit this value area that we were trading in up here at about in March of 2022. So just some quick Solana sauce. I did want to check in on that. I know you guys, I know everybody's like crazy on Solana right now. So I did want to cover that with Ethereum. I do want to check out TVK really quick just because I did do some TA on it for you guys. It's going absolutely crazy. Now, if I can only remember what chart I did that TA on. Let's see. No, wasn't it? Where did I do it over here? Maybe I did it on this. Where did I do that TA, guys? Did it get deleted? What is going on here? It was pretty simple. I mean, okay. I guess I'll do it. Over. Where did this TA go, guys? TVK. I know why. Think it was on here. There it is. Okay, guys, check it out, TVK. I want to be clear. I do not know a lot about this coin. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a good project. I don't even know if this is like where it started or if this chart just doesn't have a lot of price history. But what I can do is analyze the price action that is visible and let you guys know what I think is likely to happen next. So you can see here on TVK, this thing has had an absolute like face-ripping, face-melting pump all the way from the bottom here at about 0.01755, and you have now ripped over 200%, which is absolutely insane. And you might be thinking to yourself, is this high enough to cool off? And in my opinion, guys, if we were down here with macro bullish signals, which you probably did have on the 2-day, yep, there it is, your 2-day bullish divergence. I'm calling this, guys, like the bottom on the alts was likely put in my opinion, not saying we can't break these lows ever. I'm just saying, like, if this is the bottom for the alts, like all these alts pumping, if their bottom is in, guys, this 2-day bull dip that we were looking at on the live stream not too long ago, that was the bottom signal. We went through all the altcoins. I literally ran through my entire altcoin watch list, and we went through and looked for these 2-day bull dips saying, like, guys, like, these altcoins are down 85 to 90% with massive macro bullish signals on the 2-day. This could be the bottom for the alts. And again, I'm not saying it's impossible to break these lows. Who knows what happens, right? I don't know. I'll be the first person to tell you guys. People say, is the bottom in? I think the bottom's in. But I'm also the first person that'll be quite honest with you and say, like, I could be wrong. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Who knows? Like, we could get some kind of black swan tomorrow and everything goes to zero. Who knows, right? And I'm not even interested in that because it's really only important for my long-term bags, which I'm willing to hold until 2025 anyway. So I don't care if it goes down. But these 2-day bull divs, if I was looking at this macro volume profile, which I want to be clear, I wasn't. I had never even heard of TVK, to be honest with you. I don't think. But we put in these macro bull divs on the 2-day, and I would be looking for a move, just like we do on everything else, into your previous value area low. And then once we flip this value area low to support, I'd simply be looking up to the POC and the value area high. And where are we sitting right now? Right at the value area high of the range, which also happens to be the full 786 golden pocket retracement from this high all the way to the low here. So this may be a good area if you are in TVK, if you're looking to take short-term profits and you're not looking to hold this thing into the next bull run. This, in my opinion, I would be taking some profits off the table here because I know even if this thing is going to continue to the upside, which in my personal opinion is very likely because of this right here, right? Money flow crossing over into the green on the 2-day. Bing bong, right there. This is going to be indicating that you could see much more upside for DVK in the long term. However, locally, you're hitting this strong resistance. The value area high, golden pocket, and even that 786 we front ran slightly could go up to hit that. But this whole purple box is likely going to be some strong resistance, guys. So I would be looking for either some scalp shorts up here if I were looking to trade this. But if I held this from the spot on spot from down here, I would be looking to take some profits. If I wasn't looking to hold this into the next bull run. If I was stacking this alt for the next bull run, I would just simply not be taking profits. I'm holding this for the long term. But I think it is likely that you get some kind of a retracement here, and if you do retrace your key levels of support, you guys can see here, full golden pocket retracement from the low to the high is coming in perfect confluence with your value area low. So if this thing winds up coming back down, you're looking at between 0.03161 and 0.03004 as your key level of support, and in my opinion, your kind of extremely important level of support, right? If you want this thing to keep going up, you got to hold that value area low. And then if you pull your local Fibonacci, right, I'll pull it from this impulse right here. Well, I'll adjust that in a second. All the way to the high. And yeah, I mean, you can see it's still the same zone here, right? Like a bit higher off your blue box. So you can look at this as kind of a wider range. But these are kind of the key levels. If you do pull back, looking to hold that POC. If you lose the POC, these lower levels are going to be the important levels to hold if you want to see more upside for TVK. TVK. And then are you getting your bearish confirmations up here? Is it likely to come down from here? I mean, I'll be honest, I am always very careful shorting the altcoins when they're moving like this because you could easily get humbled trying to shut these things down and fade them to the downside. But you do have slight bearish divergence looking to form on the 2-hour, slight bearish divergence looking to form on the 4-hour, right? But your VWAP is not cooling off. I would wait for this VWAP to cool off, in my own personal opinion. 30-minute, yeah, you got bearish divergence on your 30-minute, red dot printing on your 30-minute as well. 45-minute, looking for the red dot and the bearish divergence with money flow coming out. See the higher hourly time frames. Yeah, I mean, I would be holding off on the short still, guys. Like, I would be nervous shorting this, right? Like VWAP on the 12-hour coming back up. Your 16-hour green dot is printing. Your daily, looking for the red dot. I think in the grand scheme of things, I would be careful of some low time frame noise. Maybe you get another shot to the upside, but I think looking back after a week or two, I think you will see whether you have a big wick up like that. I do think that you will get some kind of a retracement to come in here. But again, that does not mean you can't shoot up again. So just be careful. Make sure you're managing your risk because, yeah, you could still go up for that 786 and potentially like wick above here, right? So, yeah, I do think when you look back in time, you probably will cool off at some point because of this key level of resistance. All right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. There we go. That is TVK. That was just kind of that random alt. Someone asked for it on Twitter. But I do want to go ahead, guys, and talk about those single prints really quick for Jonah Plainclothes because, as you guys know, we've been kind of talking about that. I mentioned them. I talk about we look at single prints a lot in the premium Discord, but I have mentioned them briefly on the live stream on YouTube. So I will just kind of cover what they mean, right? And it is in the context of Bitcoin. So if we get that pullback, you guys know if we lose that POC, I am going to be looking down towards those single prints down here, which let me go ahead and turn them on. Sitting right here between about 32,005 and 31,952. And the question is, what the heck is a single print? I think is the exact answer or the exact question. And all a single print is an area it's an untested area on the charts, right? And it is more specifically, it's an area where price spent less than 30 minutes. That's what creates the single prints, right? And then basically the way you use them is, and oftentimes, obviously, if you get single prints, because it's a place where price spent less than 30 minutes, obviously these single prints oftentimes pop up when you get explosive moves to the upside, right? Because price is just screaming through this area. And then when you spend less than 30 minutes at a price, that's where you get the single prints. And when these single prints are naked, AKA they have not been filled, right? Price created the single prints here on the way up, right? And now they are sitting here extended to the right, and we have not come back down to touch those single prints. And oftentimes, price, just like any kind of CME gap or anything like that, a fair value gap, anything like that, a lot of times, price likes to come back and retest these areas. So it could act as, number one, you could use it as a target. If you do start getting a move to the downside, you could say, hey, maybe we're going to fill those single prints. And number two, once you get to these single prints, you can look for either a strong reaction to the upside or downside, depending on if you're approaching from above or below, or really more locally, like when you're really looking at these single prints closely, like there's two kind of ways this could play out, right? If we do come down to these single prints, simply what I'll be looking for, let's say we get the dump, we come down, I will be looking for support on the top of the single prints, right, potentially. But if we wind up getting accepted into the single print range, oftentimes it's at this point where you see these things fill super quick. They usually just rip right through. And this is a lot of times where like when you're looking at price, guys, and you see price, it's just kind of like the candles like doop, 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 doop. And it just starts like really pushing up. You're like, oh my God, what the heck is happening? oftentimes, guys, it is filling single prints. I mean, not all, this isn't the only reason why price pumps like that. Sometimes you could be stopping out shorts, stopping out longs, but sometimes you will see those single prints up in there. And once you get accepted into that single print range, oftentimes they will fill very quickly, which is going to be interesting in this particular case because we have this golden pocket backing us up right at the bottom of those single prints where I would potentially be looking for a long position. So simply put, you could use single prints as a way to look at it as a way to find support and resistance. You can look at it as a place to expect price to get gravitated to. Looking for it to be kind of like a magnet. So there you go. And yeah, he says similar to vectors. I don't know anything about the vectors, so I'm not 100% sure, but it's very similar to like any kind of like fair value gap or something like that. You're treating it very, very similarly, right? It's not created in the same exact way, but you are treating it very similarly or trading it very, very similarly. So Jonah Plainclothes, thank you for giving me that idea or asking that question so we could spit a little sauce for the Mafia. And if anyone's interested in how to find single prints on the chart, it's a little bit more of an advanced technique, guys. I find these on exo charts, and you can see like we have single prints down here. Exo charts just like automatically extends these to the right, and these are those single prints, right? So these are the actual single prints on how I saw them, right? Price ripped to the upside, and you can see here on your TPOs, right here, you actually only have, I'm not going to explain this all right now, but you can see we only have, let me zoom in a little bit more. You can see we have all these boxes with letters. Now here, this is where we like lose everybody. They're like, wait, what? You're incorporating letters? Is this algebra? What is going on? But if we can, I teach this more in the premium Discord, but just to really kind of give you guys the real sauce that, most people charge for this, these single bars, this is why they're called single prints, because we're only printing one single TPO, and that's what creates the single prints when price spends less than 30 minutes at a particular price, and then you create these single print ranges, and you can see, like, that's your TPO, and then this is your candle, right? Your candle's just screaming through this price. You're spending less than 30 minutes in this area, and that's what creates the single print, and obviously prices never come down and touch this. Once price touches this, it will no longer extend to the right, making it no longer naked, or I guess clothed, as some people would say. But anyway, that's where you get the single prints. But again, we do actually have maybe this will be next week, Sunday Sauce. I'll do a live review of the TPO indicator that I like to use on TradingView. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick before I let you guys go. Go ahead and pull up that TPO preset here. And let me go ahead and here you go, right? You can see here that, it's hard. I'll have to go into bar replay mode down here. But you can see there is actually some indicators on TradingView that will allow you to find these single prints. They're identified by these single lines here on TradingView. But here's the thing, guys. I like to find the accurate single prints on exo charts, right? So exo charts, these single prints are between about 32.5 and about 31.8. So 32.5, 31.8. These are coming in at about 33.2 all the way down to about 32.8, and then down here at 32.4. So they are slightly different. You could change the settings, etc. to get typically they do match up pretty well. I'll be honest with you guys. These single prints in particular, for whatever reason, did not really match up with exo charts. Oftentimes they are very, 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 very close. But maybe we can go over this indicator. This is actually, if anybody wants to check this out, this is called Real-Time TPO Profile. I don't know who makes this, but you can check out Real-Time TPO Profile if you want to check this out. I have changed the settings a lot, so maybe I'll make a video about this. But there is a way to technically get the single prints on your TradingView chart. But I want to be very clear, guys. Honestly, like if my position was flipped and I was on your side of the screen learning from somebody on YouTube, what I would do is honestly, like, I would just watch, like, just get the single prints that I'm getting from, like, I don't always give these. Like I said, we give this all the time in the premium Discord, but sometimes we share a little extra sauce on the free live streams. But I would rely either on exo charts or some kind of actual, something that pulls them live, or just get them from me or whoever else calls these numbers out for you guys, because I wouldn't rely fully on these. But, hey, for free, this is a free indicator. For free, you can get these on your chart, experiment with them, go back into bar replay mode, see how they interact. Here we are. Guys, I can't go live on Sundays, guys. These are supposed to be 30 minutes. We're already at an hour. I don't know what to do with myself, guys. I'm like, Mrs. Candles is probably, like, in the car with the car running right now. But you know what? We got the Mafia, Mrs. Candles. The Mafia is special to us. They're our real family, Mrs. Candles, so we got to take care of them. But, yeah, you can see, right? So you have the single prints down here. They're actually labeled. It's kind of hard to see. You can see SP. But, oftentimes you'll dip into those areas. You'll get support. You'll see right there. Look at that. Filled the single prints. I don't know if you're going to wind up getting the support that you're looking for. But let's see. Did you get it? Come on, baby. Come on. Give us a good example here. Give us a good example. Okay, well, either way, you filled the single prints. You did get that move to the upside, which would be pretty somewhat sizable here. Somewhat 3.6%. I like to look at these on the 30-minute time frame. Just give an extra sauce at this point. But let's go ahead. Let's go back here. Let's go ahead and let's try it back here, right? Let's see. Okay, so bada boom, bada bing. Here we are. Okay, so no significant single prints. Let's see. So you can see, right, you got a bunch of single prints down here from this quick move to the upside. So, price could have come down there and tested that, but I don't think it actually did. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Let me see if I can find a good example here, because now I just want to hammer it home here. So let's see here. Bada boom. Okay, so you got some single prints right here. Let's see if this works. Like I said, definitely a bit more accurate on exo charts, but let's just see, right? So you have this zone here. So you're looking at this zone saying, hey, if we come back to this area, this could be an area that we could get gravitated to, and we could be potentially expecting some kind of a reaction to the downside, right? And let's see here. If this doesn't work out, guys, we'll just we'll save this for a no? All right, this does not want to work? Come on. Okay, bar replay mode just took a break on us for a second there. But yeah, so now you're looking at this. Oh, there you go. Filled those single prints. Got to bounce. Let's see if we can get back up into this area here. Go ahead and fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Come on. So this is kind of where trading gets a little bit difficult, guys, where you like to be kind of patient, right? Now you have new single prints right up here, right? So you could even look at that as an area as well. But we're really waiting for that bigger area, this area. But look at that, guys. Bada boom, right? So often this is one way that single prints can work, right? Especially with this free indicator on TradingView. You knew you had the single prints right here, this range of single prints. And oftentimes, guys, I like to look at a lot of single prints. I'm not looking at like one measly line of single prints, right? I like to see a big range like this. And what happens? You come up, you kiss it. You're looking for obviously other confirmations. You're not just looking to short this randomly, but you come up, you tap the end of those single prints. You don't get accepted back in. If you get accepted into these single prints, you could look for them to fill, but you actually just come up, they act as resistance, and you get a big move to the downside. So again, just kind of like a simple support and resistance technique is kind of how you can use them. You just got to be careful when if you're looking at this to be resistance, you got to make sure you don't get accepted into them, because then you're just going to rip up and fill them very quickly, which could easily stop you out of your position. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I gotta go run some errands with Mrs. Candles. But guys, real quick, is Wolfman Ate My Crypto in here? Shout out to Wolfman Ate My Crypto if you're in here, bro. Guys, Wolfman Ate My Crypto is an absolute legend, because you guys know I'm a big Aztec and Cactus Moss Water guys, right? This is what brings me my energy on my live streams. And Wolfman Ate My Crypto went ahead and sent us out some fire koozies that literally say Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Yo, Wolfman, I opened this box. Tony gave me this package, bro. I opened this up, bro. I was floored. I was like, yo, Wolfman is the GOAT, bro. This is so sick. And Wolfman, hit us up in the DMs, bro. I don't know if you made these or you just ordered them from a website or whatever, but hit us up, bro. We want to talk to you real quick, because we may want to throw these into giveaways or something. These are super, super cool. I'm going to use this every single day on my live stream now to keep my Aztecian Cactus Moss Water from getting too warm or making my hands too cold. I don't know. But guys, today's episode was brought to you by Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. And now, shout out to Wolfman Ate My Crypto for this fire koozie. And smash that like button, guys, because you never know. If you smash that like button, we spin that wheel 20 times tomorrow, you may be able to win, potentially, if Wolfman Ate My Crypto can help us out and we can get some of these from him. We will give them, start giving them away on the giveaways. So shout out to Wolfman Ate My Crypto. Shout out to Bitcoin, guys. Watch out for that surprise push-up, but also be careful for those shorts, too, because things are a little bit confusing now. But hopefully, I was able to give you guys some guidance into what I'm expecting out of Bitcoin today and moving into next week. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for today's Sunday Sauce. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Different place. Same place, different time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Go touch some grass, guys. Go hang out with your version of Mrs. Candles. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Hey, yo, Jay,
Can we get some ratchet one time? Hey.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much, I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip, got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out the stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Boy got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the raps. Had a few friends, but they stuck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride till the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen a rap on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
Well, I'm coming. All right. Whoa, guys, that was not Mrs. Kendall screaming at me, guys. I was not on my phone, guys. I told her, guys, I'm not in trouble. I swear. Trust me. She's not mad. Don't listen to that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is actually just got a puppy. It's screaming. It's not Mrs. Candles yelling at me. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank you for checking out the Sunday Sauce. Also, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Should we do these lives once in a while on Sunday? I do still want to do the pre-records, the millionaire scripts, like the moon math videos, the tutorials. We're going to still sprinkle these in all over the place, but let me know. Should we go live on Sundays once in a while for a little bit of a Sunday Mafia meeting? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna skim through those and see what you guys want to see, because if I'm making content you don't want to watch, it kind of defeats the purpose. So, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Have a good weekend. Go touch some grass. That's all I got. Frank Candle's out. Bing bong. I'm in trouble, guys. Hasta pasta.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to